Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in to Khaliis Take. If this is your first time, please like, subscribe, leave any comments. Also, hit the notification bell for any future content to get it first. And enjoy the video.
Yeah, I mean, they sit there and talk about, Jared Dudley wants to sit there and talk about, you know, what the Clippers done. With the Clippers, a lot of the Clippers players were talking trash, about them being the team in LA, them being the team in LA, all this stuff he's talking about. But at the same time, you are an instigator. You're somebody who has always been an instigator all your career. You made a living off of that because you're nobody. Jared Dudley, I mean, to be honest with you, I think he had one or two good seasons, maybe with the Phoenix Suns when Steve Nash was playing. Jared Dudley has always been an instigator. And, the fact that he's talking about this now, bringing this up now, today, last night, whenever. It's just really idiotic because, first of all, nobody cares about what you have to say. Nobody cared about you as a player. You're no good. You've always been a trashy player. Like I said, you might have had one or two good seasons and they still went unnoticed. Joel Embiid called you a nobody because that's what you are. You're a nobody in the NBA. You make a name off instigating. And now I understand. I understand that Paul George and a couple players, Montrez, a couple of them was talking trash, this, and that last year. But right now you're trying to stir up some real issues because let's just hypothetically say Montrez Harrell was one of the ones, if he wasn't, if he was probably talking trash about the Lakers and how they're the best team in the Clippers we got now, all this stuff. Let's say Montrezl Harrell was one of the ones talking all that trash. Well, Montrezl Harrell's on the Lakers now. He's on the Lakers and he's actually, fitting in really well. So now you're causing tension again, possibly this year between the Lakers and Clippers when there's no tension that should be there. Everybody just needs to go out there and play their game and do exactly what they're supposed to do and do their job and perform at the highest level they can. Paul George is playing really good this year. And I personally think Paul George really took what you said last night as a disrespectful gesture, Jared Dudley, because he goes out last night and scored 36 points all of a sudden. I guess he felt like he had a point to prove to this guy, and I guess it just got him ramped up. And I hope that keeps him ramped up the rest of the season. I really hope it does because I mean, it's just like I said, it's just stupid. I don't know why Jared Dudley is saying these things. I don't know why he's coming out being this way. It is just a waste of time. It is just dumb. I don't get it. And I never liked Jared Dudley. And he got a cheap championship for being on a team with the Lakers with LeBron and AD and the rest of the crew. And you was an afterthought. You didn't even really help them win that championship. He wasn't even a part of the reason why they won the championship. It was all Rondo. Of course, it was Rondo, LeBron, AD, KCP, maybe a little bit of Kyle Kuzma, maybe not much of him either, but the Caruso kid, it was more of that type. JaVale, Dwight Howard, those were the ones who really made the team good. You were trash, Jared Dudley, and I wish you stopped acting like you're somebody in the NBA that we care about. We don't care about your book. We don't care about you. We don't care about what you have to say because you're bringing this stuff up now and trying to cause tension between two teams who are just going out there trying to compete for a championship. And that's all they're trying to do. They're not trying to go out there and say things about each other because it's all about just playing at the highest level you can and being the best team you can be at the opportune time. Now, this all will get settled in the playoffs if they meet each other, and I really hope they do. You know what I'm saying? Whoever made the best team win, whatever. But with Jared Dudley out the picture off the Lakers and not, there now or whatever, it makes it so much better. Because you went on there, you went on ESPN or wherever you were and said a couple months ago or not too long ago, well, those boys didn't want to be in the bubble and we kept seeing all these, platforms of Kawhi Leonard and we got now and the Clippers were doing all this showcasing and we thought this and we thought that. We thought they were going to play us. Jared Dudley, shut your mouth. You're just an instigator, and that's all you're ever going to be is an instigator. You're somebody that we don't respect. You're somebody that nobody really ever is going to care about. I don't ever remember what your stat line was in any game. I don't remember how many points you averaged. I don't remember what college you came from. I barely remember what team you played for. Only reason why I remember that is because of what? Because you played with Steve Nash. Because you played with LeBron and AD. That's the only reason why we even know who you are. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't even know who you are. You're a nobody. And just stick to that. Stick to being what you're good at, Jared Dudley. A nobody. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your book or your opinion. Nobody in their right mind is buying your book or whenever it comes out. Nobody's even going to know your book is on the shelf because a lot of people in this world don't even like to read. And if they do want to read, it's not going to be anything or any content that you put out. So you're just trying to stir up something between the Lakers and the Clippers again, and it's just very distasteful. It's just very utterly wrong. And I think Jared Dudley just need to stay wherever you are and just do your own thing and don't worry about what the Lakers did last year, the Clippers said to each other last year. The Lakers and Clippers are two different teams now. Look, Montrezl Harrell is actually on the Lakers, which he was a part of the Clippers last year. So like I said before earlier in the video, if he was the one a part of doing all the talking, well, he's on the Lakers now. They have moved on. This is a new season, a new day. And last time I checked, the Lakers are in third place, the Clippers are in second place, basically in contention for first place based upon whether the Utah Jazz lose or not. So I don't want to hear about any of this stuff, Jared Dudley. Just leave it alone. Go on your merrily happy way. LeBron and AD and the rest of the crew won you a championship because you never was championship worthy. You never was going to be a part of a championship team. Nobody knows who you are. And your name sounds like an idiot. Dudley, that sounds like a clown. And no disrespect to anybody else who has a name named Dudley, but the way you look, facial wise, you look like a clown. So the fact that your last name is Dudley and you look like a clown, I'm just going to say you look like a clown. And you are one. And nobody in the league respects you. Nobody in the league likes you. Only reason why AD and them put up with you last year because you were on their team. If it was up to them, they would have got somebody else instead of you. So why don't you just go on your way and leave this alone and let Paul George be him? And there doesn't need to be no back and forth. And I hope this comes to an end because both teams are playing really good right now. And they just need to focus on the season and not focus on a piece of trash like you. Now I'm sorry for just going on a rant, but hey, that's my take on it. And hey, like I always say, till next time.